Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get it. Let's talk MLB action. We have an exciting Saturday slate, and we're going to break down each and every game. We'll go over some of the pitching matchups and my leans, as well as the ever so important best bets here, right here at TBM Sports. Appreciate you guys tuning in, waking up, and spending your Saturday mornings with me. Cheers. Let's get the coffee going, and if you're watching on your TV, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I get to see the numbers. 50% of the people who watch this video are not currently subscribed. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. It's more so a follow button. Does not cost you a dime, okay? That's all I ask in return for my free bets. If you do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And also, I'm very active in the comments. I want to know what you guys are betting. We'll kick it up over on Discord as well. Love that part of this whole thing as we get to talk bets throughout the day. So appreciate you all, and let's get it. Good luck. And we have some Final Four action as well. So we'll talk a lot about that. I do have my Final Four plays up live on the channel. Make sure you all check out that as well, and let's get right into it. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on as well within today's slate, because we do have a lot of inclement weather. It's a nasty day. So a lot of cold weather, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, possibly having a lot of rainouts and delays. We'll see what happens, but let's get down into the plays. We are going to use Outlier to break that all down, and I got to tell you guys a story. I'm a little pissed at myself. It doesn't happen often, but I did fall asleep. I passed out. Wasn't even drinking within the Indians and the Angels late night game on the West Coast. So as a Cleveland fan, it sometimes is hard to adjust to these West Coast games, and it's weird. Sometimes I'm up. I'm usually up till 1, 2 o'clock watching college basketball, a lot of West Coast conference stuff. And last night, just Jose Ramirez, 3 home runs, just didn't keep my eyes open. So I'm a little pissed at myself, like I said, but we woke up to a little bit of magic, and thank you to Jose for those 3 runs, or 3 bombs, as the Indians won 8-6 last night against the Angels. We'll talk a lot about that, but shout out to anybody who was on the picks yesterday. I put them all together, put them straight. We did have a very successful day. The only 2 losses I had was those flyers I took within Miami on the money line, half unit, and a quarter unit on the Padres reverse run line. So overall, very successful. Hope you guys were able to watch my video. Apologies for getting it out later. Sometimes work dictates when these videos come out, and I appreciate you guys with your patience. Do the best I can to get these videos out as early as possible, but it is what it is, okay? So make sure you have the notification bell turned on so you don't miss a beat, and let's get right into the card, okay? We have a full slate to break down. I'll try to do this as quickly and as efficient as possible and still deliver for you guys as we look into the first game on the card. 1:10 first pitch, White Sox and Tigers. A lot of you guys were on the Tigers yesterday, so shout out to Detroit getting that one done. 2:15 here is what we have to lay on the money line for the Tigers, as we do get a very favorable matchup potentially. But I think that handicap is coming down to the fact that the White Sox are the White Sox of old, okay? 2-5 on the season. And as we look at kind of what the Tigers are going to bring to the table, Reese Olson, okay, not the best start to kick off his young season, okay, 25 years old. This pitcher did not kind of get the start that he wanted, but he also went against the Dodgers, so keep that in mind. Okay, so 4 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs allowed, gave up a bomb in that first start at Dodger Stadium. I want to kind of highlight this because he is a lot better of a pitcher, in my opinion, than that performance led on. And I think that that's something why we see the odds makers having a little bit more favoritism to the Tigers on the money line. Not going to play this game, okay? It's something where you talk about it and you look at kind of what's going on with the Tigers in the spot. I just think that there is a lot to be said. They're going to win this game potentially. They're coming off of a winning 3 out of 5. They took down the White Sox last night 7-4. I think that's something where you see a lot of runs. The Tigers' bats are not the worst thing out there in the market right now. It's kind of a little closet statement. They've been doing pretty well. And, You talk about kind of what they were able to do against the Dodgers. Very competitive. I know they lost 3 games, but they still fared pretty well. And that's something to keep in mind as we get deeper into the season. But I do think that this is a no play for me. There's no advantage of playing this game. If you want to do maybe Tigers don't bat in the 9th, sure. I think the Tigers do get this job done. I'm not a big fan of what we're getting in terms of a pitching matchup on the other side. As we want to talk about kind of the righty that Davis Martin, the White Sox, thrown out. I think he's going to get absolutely shellacked. He had a very, very decent outing last time out, if we want to talk about it, and what he was able to do against the Angels. 4 hits, 6 innings pitched. But this is just something where I just don't like this handicap. It's a stupid game in terms of the number. I don't really know why the Tigers are minus 215 on the money line. I could talk about it, but I just think there's better bets out there, so we're going to pass. Next game is Houston and the Twins, okay? This is a game that we will have an official play in. I'm going to lay it with Houston plus 108 on the money line, okay? I think the wrong team is favored. You can find that best bet on FanDuel. We talk about kind of Houston going against the Twins. I don't quite frankly trust the Twins, and we do get a matchup where Spencer Arrighetti's pitching against Nick Pivetta. I'm sorry, against Bailey O'Bear. Bailey O'Bear got absolutely reamed, taken out back to the woodshed. And I think that handicap does stay live. The Houston bats are coming on pretty strong, taking down the Twins 5-2 last night. I know they lost and got swept by San Francisco, but I do like me some Houston Astros. They have not had that breakout game where they've scored, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs. I think we potentially get that today. Give me the Houston Astros plus 108 on the money line. I think the wrong team is favored in this spot, albeit they are on the road on a back-to-back, okay? Next game, San Diego and the Cubs. This is where we get Nick Pivetta going against lefty within Matthew Boyd. This is a game where you could take the bounce back spot for the Padres. 7-1 on the season. You could see kind of how the numbers lined up. I think the wrong team potentially is favored in this spot as well. The Padres here plus 105 on the money line. We saw kind of what happened last night. Shota Imanaga pitched exceedingly well. We do got a weather game as well. It's going to be cold. It's going to be kind of the same handicap we had yesterday. We were on the under within the Cubs-Padres. 3-1. I don't think the Padres bats stay low. I think that 1 run was just kind of a shout-out to Shota early on in the season. And I kind of would be going with the Padres here. That is a very strong lean, taking on Matthew Boyd and the Cubs, where I do like the Padres quite a bit. Just did not make my card because of the weather situation. I just don't know if the Padres going west to east, if they're going to be playing baseball or just kind of, mucking it up for this road trip, okay? Yankees and Pirates. This is an interesting matchup. We got Marcus Stroman on the bump and going against Bailey Falter. So we got a couple Baileys going. Stroman, not so much his best performance within his first start. No decision on that one, but the Yankees bats are live. We're on them with the run line yesterday. It quite frankly doesn't matter, okay? The Yankees, if they continue to hit the baseball, and I don't think it really has anything to do with the torpedo bats, okay? I think it's a little bit overblown, but I do like the Yankees in this spot going against Bailey Falter. And if I was going to bet this game, $1.60 is a little too much on the money line, so I would look into the run line, minus 105, if I was going to approach this game. This is a no play for me, but I do think the Yankees bats stay hot, so I do favor the Yankees quite a bit in this 405 first pitch. Diamondbacks Nationals. Okay, we were on the over yesterday, and now we get kind of the same situation here as we look into Ed Rodriguez going against Mitchell Parker for the Nationals. And Mitchell Parker, do not get it twisted. This young lefty can throw the baseball a little bit. One of the bright kind of shining moments of this Nationals rotation. 7 hits allowed, 6 1/3 last outing against Philadelphia. I think he can play some, he can play some baseball, and I think that's where we're going to see him do a little bit better going against the Diamondbacks club. I don't like the handicap, minus 130. If the Diamondbacks were closer to even money, I might entertain that, but this is a no play for me. I would kind of lean Diamondbacks in the spot, and I don't think that the total is going to be something like we've seen yesterday that much. However, there is a reason why it's set at 9. Ed Rodriguez, they're going to be able to get to him offensively. And the Nationals 1-6. There's a reason why. Okay, so that's kind of where you look into this. Potentially even Diamondbacks -1.5 at plus money. You could look into that. The total set at 9 for a reason, but this is a game where I don't really have a good read on it, so I'm going to stay away from it as well. Next game we are going to talk about is an official best bet. We got the Phillies, Aaron Nola going against the young rookie within the Dodgers, Sasaki. Did not go deep, in his outings, but I think this is something where Dodgers 8-1. I think the Phillies have kind of swept under the rug the fact that they're 6-1. I think this game will mean a lot more to Philadelphia than the Dodgers, and that's kind of why I'm going to take this one. Just dip my toes in the water, if you will. We're going to take the Philadelphia Phillies +1 on DK DraftKings -148 gives us the potential for a push if they lose a close game. I think this one might get a little bit up there in terms of runs, a little better than we saw yesterday. Yesterday was I think 3-2 victory for the Phillies. Kind of how I feel about it. I know Aaron Nola didn't have his best outing, 0-1 on the season, 8.44 ERA in that start. But I do think that the Phillies +1 is the side I'm going to take, -148. So if they win the game, we cash the ticket. If they lose by 1, we push. So give me the Phillies here +1 as an official best bet. Okay, and a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I'm not taking the 1.5. It's just no value. Getting close to $2 on that. It's just not going to be something that I'll entertain. So I want to kind of reduce that juice a little bit. In a game where I think that the Phillies could win at even money, -105, basically, that's kind of how I feel about it. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a cushion, +1, although I think the Phillies win this game and take the first 2 against the Dodgers, okay? Next game, Baltimore in KC. A lot of you guys were on KC yesterday big. I think they won 8-2. Got that one done. Michael Wacha going against Shigano. This is a game where I think it's going to be a high total as well. 8 is what we see. I would lean Kansas City. There's a reason why it's at 8. Kind of where I'm at. I think that the Orioles can break out against any pitcher. Also, Kansas City, if they can put up 8 runs, that's always been their knock, not being able to score runs. But when they do play at home, they're a little bit better, in my opinion. And that's kind of where I would lean towards Kansas City here, -115, and also the over. No official play for me in this game. All right. Cardinals and Red Sox. We do got Palante going against Fitz. This is a game where I think it's going to be a high total as well. Set at 8.5. There's a reason why. The Cardinals got bludgeoned yesterday. That was a very high-scoring affair. And we look into it kind of what we saw yesterday. We're seeing a lot of overs across the board, okay? And you want to talk about kind of what that game looked like. 13-9, the Boston Red Sox were able to take the Cardinals down. So if you want to look into team totals, I like both team totals. I like the over in this, 8.5. But it's kind of a coin flip game for me because both of these pitchers are very underwhelming in my opinion. So that's kind of where I lean over. Team totals over as well. They are playing at Fenway, so you do have that, the Green Monster handicap to consider in left field. Basically auto single if you hit the wall at least, and that's kind of how I feel about it. So I would lean over a lot of runs in this game, Boston and St. Louis. Tampa Bay and Texas, this is one that I almost got involved with from a prop perspective. We get to see Jacob deGrom back on the bump. Outstanding first outing coming back off of injury, going against Taj Bradley. The Rangers 6-2. All right, they were one of my picks to come out of the AL at 25-1 to win the AL. Very good futures play in that regard for Texas. No play for me, though, in this spot. I think this is something where you look into kind of what we could do in this game. If you want to take DeGrom, maybe I think he's still on a short leash, so I'm not going to get involved with his pitcher outs, strikeouts as well. I just don't trust that he's going to get 6 or 7 innings, go deep into the game. They're going to kind of baby him a little bit. It's a long season, and Tampa Bay, they kind of hit the ball a little bit, so it's going to be an interesting game to see unfold. And I want to see if DeGrom, I want to get another start under his belt to see kind of how this one plays out before we get involved. However, I do kind of favor Texas because DeGrom did look exceedingly well, as we're seeing a little buy down on the Rangers, as -178 is the best number out there on the money line. But Tampa Bay, losing to Texas 5-2, they lost to Pittsburgh, and albeit they have, done kind of decent 4-3 on the season. I just think this is something where it does favor Texas. They've won 3 straight. I know 2 of those games were against Cincinnati, but I think that this is something where Texas does enough to win this game. It's just something where I don't really know if they're going to have a lot of offensive output, so I don't feel comfortable if we do get a shaky start from DeGrom. It's just too expensive to get involved with this game, in my opinion. Okay, next game is the Reds and the Brewers, and you guys are going to kind of laugh at me on this one, but we are going to back the Reds here. Okay, I think it's too cheap of a price. Minus 110 was the best number I found. Cincinnati has won or lost 4 in a row. 2 games to Milwaukee, 3-2 and 0-1. They did lose. And I think that Milwaukee, they played exceedingly well against Kansas City. This is an interesting one, okay, for a lot of reasons. And I think that the fact that, they do get the pitching matchup in the direction of Cincinnati, I think that's the clear-cut advantage, is the fact that Cincinnati gets Brady Singer going against Rodriguez, who did not look good in his outing. So I think that this is something where if the Reds can't score today, I don't think they're ever going to score. So they might go on the no-bet list for the immediate time being, okay? But I do like the Reds here in the spot on the road. They're eventually going to have to break out. I think we get a little bit of a buy low price here on the Cincinnati Reds. So give me the Reds here on the money line, and this might be the last time we take them until they decide to hit the baseball. One of the poorest hitting teams right now in the MLB. But I am going to take them here in the spot because I think it's a good price with a good pitching matchup. So give me the Reds here minus 110 as a best bet, okay? Next, let's get into the game within the Blue Jays taking on the Metropolitans. We do get Bassett going against Canning. This is a game where I do think it's going to potentially have some weather involvement. I think the Mets potentially not only have the lesser of the pitching matchup, but I don't trust the Blue Jays bats. I would lean under in this game and also Mets on the money line. It's kind of contradicting itself because if it does go under, I just think that the Blue Jays have enough offensively to plate more runs against the Mets, but I still like the Mets, so it's going to be an either or. Okay, so I'm either going to take the Mets on the money line or take the Mets Blue Jays going under. This is a no play for me because I don't trust Canning on the bump, but I think the weather will kind of dictate this game going under, and that's kind of where it would lean me to playing the New York Blue Jays game here under the total where you can find a pricey 8 if you wanted to get involved, but no play officially for me in this spot, okay? Next game is Miami and Atlanta. This will be an official best bet, okay? We are going to lean into the over. We're going to look at the total. And as we talk about this game, 8 is the pricey number. We're going to take over 8 within Cal Quantrill and Smith Shawver. I think this is a great storyline to follow. Cal Quantrill might find himself in AAA real fast, but the Marlins 4-4 on the season, going against a 1-7 Braves club. Not going to get involved with the money line within the number, within the spread. You can see it right now, $2.25 for the Braves. It's just a little too pricey. I don't trust it, although they do get the better side of the pitching matchup. In my opinion, you could potentially, in a normal situation where the Braves are playing, somewhat decent baseball, this would be almost an auto play for me, Braves on the run line going against Cal Quantrill. But we're going to approach it a little differently. You can look Braves team total, but I potentially look into the over 8. That's kind of where I lean. It's something where I think that they do get a lot of runs across. Yesterday, we saw a little bit of a buyback or bounce back performance, something that we haven't seen as Atlanta scored 10 against Miami. And that's kind of where I think the bats are waking up a little bit. They scored 5 against the Dodgers. They've had a outstandingly tough season start, right? 3 games on the road against San Diego, 4 games against San Diego, 3 games against the Dodgers. There's a reason why they're 0-7, right? Those are 2 of the best teams in baseball right now going. And, getting swept's one thing, but it's something where they do play the Miami Marlins kind of fresh off of those losses, and there's a reason why they won 10-0. So I do like the Braves a little bit, minus 1.5 on the run line. I don't trust it, but I think the best way to approach this game is taking the total. So if you do like the Braves in the spot, take them over their team total, but we will give out an official play. We're going to go over 8 as a best bet within the Braves Marlins, okay? Next game is the Athletics and the Colorado Rockies. If you want to call them Sacramento, you want to call them Vegas. If you still want to call them Oakland, that's on you. I'm fine either way with anything. But I do think this is another game where we do get runs. I'm not going to get involved because 9.5 is too pricey to trust any of these teams. just to basically perform in a way where we're going to get into double digits in terms of scoring. But I would lean over the 9. I'm not going to take a 9.5. If you do like the 9, you want to find a 9, great. But I would lean Athletics Rockies going over. Okay. Same thing goes for the likes of the Seattle Mariners and San Francisco Giants. Lean towards the over in that one yesterday. And this is interesting because we do get kind of some of their better pitchers, right? Bryce Miller, and then obviously we get Robbie Ray going for the Giants. Robbie Ray did not have the best outing, but he did get the win in that game. I think this is something where we could see some run support as the Mariners are away from home. 3-5 on the season. The Giants, a little sneaky 6-1 to start off the 2025 campaign. No play for me, but I would kind of lend towards the over 7 in this game. Juiced up 7 if you want it, but that's a no play for me. Okay. Next, the final game on the card. This will be between the Cleveland Indians and the Los Angeles Angels, okay? And why we're going to talk about this is we have Josh Kokanowicz going against Tanner Beebe. Beebe looked exceedingly well in his first start, and I think this is something where you talk about kind of what we saw yesterday, right? Cleveland scored 8 runs against the Angels. That's all I need. I think the wrong team kind of, I don't say they weren't favored yesterday, but it was just way too cheap of a price for the guards, for the Indians. And I think that the Guardians roll in this spot, and I'm not opposed to it, right? Minus 145. It's about the upper echelon of money line prices that I'll lay, but I think that Cleveland gets this job done. I think they improved to 500, 4-4, and we not just went up, headed into Sunday for a little rubber for a potential kind of getaway game where the Angels look to squeak one by, but I think the Guardians still prevail. You want to look at the Angels and look a little deeper into it. They're 4-3, but it comes down to a couple things for me, right? A lot of their key players, you look at Trout, they're batting, still batting 200 something. All right, they're not hitting the ball well. I think that, Jose Ramirez is starting to catch his stride. I still can't get over the fact that we talk some Cleveland baseball a lot, and you talk about kind of where we're at within having Carlos Santana, his third stint in Cleveland. I have no idea why on God's green earth that he is the 3-hitter for a team that almost made the World Series last year. You got to do better from an ownership standpoint. You got to do better. There's no way, in my opinion, where Paul Goldschmidt was available. The Yankees scooped him up, and I know that he's towards the end of his career as well. But a little unknown fact: his wife's from Cleveland. It just makes no sense to me why he wouldn't sign with the Guardians for basically the same money that they got Santana for. I think it was just one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Get them both; it doesn't matter. Look at what the Dodgers spend. The Dolans. It's just atrocious what they're doing to that organization. And I'm always going to be in the camp where you don't go shopping. You want to win a ring. You want to get those diamonds on your finger. You got to kind of, you can't go shopping on a budget. And I know that there's the Moneyball stories where you see teams come out, but, it comes down to it, guys. Who's competing with the Dodgers? Nobody. And why? They spend the most money, okay? And same thing goes for the Phillies, the Yankees, so on and so forth. You want to get to the World Series. I know that there's going to be times where you do get the farm system developed and you got to have those years, but, putting all your eggs in a basket on a budget, and then hopefully once every 5 to 7 years you get a nice run in the playoffs in the postseason. That's just not good enough. It's unfortunate, but I do think that the Guardians roll in this spot. And if you do want to get a little advantageous and you want some plus money, right? Cleveland wins by 1 to 3 runs on FanDuel plus 165. That's another angle that I would look into if you don't want to lay the minus 145 money line price. That's another thing that I'm thinking about taking as well, as BB takes on the Los Angeles Angels. A little late night action as well, 9:38. I'll be watching college basketball. May have it on another side TV. Don't know if I'm going out for the games, but it's going to be a fun one. So those are my best bets. Let's do a quick recap. We're going Braves over the total of 8. Cleveland money line minus 145, or win by 1 to 3 runs at plus 165, depending on your risk tolerance. Also, the Reds money line, let's back on minus 110. Philly plus 1, minus 148, and Houston on the money line plus 108. Those will be my 5 best bets for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck with your picks. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your weekend. Cheers.